Hello everybody, Joe Bagadones here, and welcome back for another episode of MUV Love Photonflowers. Yeah, man, I've been tired this last couple of days, you know. We're down a guy, oh, fuck, hit my mouse, oh, just ignore that. We're down a guy at work, so when we get to the second half of the week, there's only 2 people on shift, me and one other guy, and because I'm the low man on the totem pole, that means I have to do all the work. Not a dig against the dude I'm working with. He's higher up than me, so he's handling the desk stuff. But that means most of the night I'm out on the line. So when I get back, I'm tired and I sleep all day. So oops, my bad. Haven't done a video in a bit. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, where'd we leave off? Oh yeah, there were some wipeouts. Fujisawa fucking exploded. Miura fucking exploded. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. How you handling this, Izumi? Takamiya? About 4 or so. You can tell I just got off work. Normally, you guys should know I record in the evening, but I got off work a little early today because, I'm such a fucking star player. I crushed it and did all my work early, so they let me go home. Nice. It's like 7 a.m., so it's not super early. But I finally got my PS5 in the mail, and I haven't had time to play this week because I spent all my off time sleeping. So yeah, I'm fucking knocking this shit out first thing in the morning, so that way it can go up today, and I can just, have some me time all night instead of having to do this later on in the evening. So ha! About 4 hours have passed since we returned to Yokohama. All cadets have been ordered to remain on standby for further instructions. Takamiya sits motionless, her eyes completely shut and elbows resting on the desk. If I didn't know any better, I would say she's praying. We haven't said a word to each other since the accident. I always knew that dealing with death is part and parcel of life as a surface pilot. I assumed everyone was prepared to die since the moment we enlisted. Yeah, but training accidents are different. But to think we'd experience death so soon. I thought we'd die fighting the beta, not a training accident. And it wasn't just me. This heavy unrest permeated the air is proof enough. Permeating, that was a verb. My silence for the past few hours hasn't been out of consideration for Takamiya. I simply can't help but blame myself for my powerlessness. All I can do now is pray for both Fujisawa and Miura. Dude, I hate to break it to you. Yeah, they're probably not doing so hot. Well, they're probably extremely hot, and that's the issue. Well, I couldn't do a thing.
全訓練小隊に次ぐ。全訓練小隊に次ぐ。10分以内に各教室に集合し、待機せよ。繰り返す。10分以内に各教室に集合し、待機せよ。
Instructor Jinguchi is back, which means the inspection must already be over. She was involved in the accident as well, but it seems like she's okay. Small mercy.
行こう、泉。
So what are we gonna chalk this up to? People trying to do things beyond their ability and fucking wiping out?
次に、藤沢候補生と三浦候補生の状況について報告する。
As soon as she mentioned their names, you could feel the tension in the room increase. We were impatient for answers, and after having to endure a 15-minute-long briefing on the accident, it seems we were finally about to get some. Normally, the Army would be more than happy to keep us in the dark when it comes to sensitive information like this, but it seems that for once, our superiors are willing to make an exception.
藤沢候補生は意識不明の重体。現在、横浜陸軍病院に搬送され、救命治療が施されている。
Well, I guess, still being inside the TSF might have fucking saved her there.
今のところ、容体は安定しているとのことだ。だが依然、予断を許さない状態が続いている。
All of us were shaken by those words. We'd been praying for her safety since we saw the chopper carrying her to Yokohama, and now, as we hear the instructor talk, we sway between relief and despair. But this much is enough for now. Fujisawa is alive. Fujisawa, you know what you have to do, right? It's you we're talking about here, so you gotta pull through. So you gotta, goddamn. Cussing, oh no. This is a good Christian fucking channel here, we don't swear. Yeah, she's probably paced on the side of a building.
三浦候補生は 現在行方不明だが、回収された強化装備の一部が受けている損傷から推定死亡。三浦の生存は絶望と認定された。
Yeah, if you find pieces of her clothing, but not her in an explosion, oh yeah, you know, a big fiery explosion.
死亡者が出たため、今後の調査権は帝国陸軍の事故調査委員会に移管される。
A natural outcome, painfully obvious, really. Realistically speaking, Mira simply had no chance of survival. Anyone who was thinking logically and with a clear mind would reach that conclusion. But that's not how weak-minded people operate. They cherry-pick the facts and ignore everything they don't want to hear. Doing so makes accepting the inevitable truth that much harder. I despised them, the weak, because I thought myself better. But that wasn't true. I was weak too. The difference was merely a matter of perspective. I was doing the exact same thing, except what was only a trivial matter for me was critically important to the people I used to hate. As it turns out, we were not that different.
現段階で伝達できるのはここまでだ。各自、報告書を作成し、委員会の審問に備えろ。
Fun, and usually you have to go do get it like a fucking drug test done too.
申し訳ありませんでした。教官殿、
なんだ泉。
今回の事故は分隊長である私の責任です。泉、隊の状況把握が不十分でした。私の能力不足の結果です。
Well, you're also a trainee, so this is one of those rare situations where shit doesn't roll all the way downhill. There's a bit of a buffer zone there.
確かに事実はその通りだ。だが違う。貴様たち候補生の管理は全て私に責任がある。したがって事故の責任は私が負うべきものだ。
ですが、
貴様がそう感じたいのなら止めはしない。だが訓練カリキュラム上の分隊長が負える責任など元より存在しない。今の貴様には責任を感じるほどの価値すらない。思い上がる。
はい。
I don't want to admit it, but she's right. Oh, hey, who's this cute girl on the left? Now, I know this is a real tragic situation, but you know, like, she's kind of got it going on. I'm the squad leader, but that's the role I was assigned by the academy, not one that I earned. I wish I could stop caring and let things be. I wish I could hide behind the fact it's above my rank, as great as it would be. That's just not who I am.
一つ、貴様たちにはっきり言っておこう。今回の事故はこの程度で済んでよかったんだ。
What? Can't you read the room? This is not the time to be acting like a hard ass, damn it. Well, to be fair, she's right. Fucking big accident like that, only one person died? Fucking shit sucks, bro, but, you know, complete catastrophe averted.
よかったってどういうこと？
藤沢を見れば明らかだが、三浦は機体内に留まっていれば助かった可能性は十分にあった。
Yeah.
だが三浦は訓練教則を勝手な解釈で曲げ、演習場で抗議した上に単身救出に向かった挙句死んだ。
それは仲間を助けるためでは。
And now she's dead.
そうだ。その仲間を助けるためという勝手な解釈の結果、三浦は死ななくていい状況で死んだんだ。
I mean, as much as it sucks, you have to know, like, when your limitations and what you're actually able to do in a situation. And sometimes, you know, trying to get involved on some emotional fucking gut feeling, you're just making more trouble for everyone.
三浦は想像するべきだった。自分がここまで育つのにどれだけの貴重な資源と莫大な費用、そして目に見えぬ人々の労力がかかっているのかを、そしてそれを投げ打ってまで助ける価値がその仲間とやらにあったのかをな。藤沢は自身の能力を過信し 無謀な起動をした挙句、
Mm-hmm.
貴重で高価な戦術機と燃料補給車両を大破させ、多くの救助要員の生命を危機にさらした。あの程度で済んだことは奇跡に等しい。そんな勝手な奴を命を危険にさらしてまで救う価値はあるか？
I mean, she's right.
勘違いするなよ。ここで心配しているのは貴様たちの命ではないぞ。貴様らに投資された様々なもの、そしてそれによって貴様らが得た経験だぞ。
Taxpayer dollar bills, y'all.
だとすれば、よせ竹宮。藤沢の命にかけられたものを救おうとした三浦は正しいのではないでしょうか。
Yes, but her risk assessment was off. I understand how you feel, Takemiya, but that's not what the instructor is trying to tell us.
竹宮、人の世話を焼いていいのは自分のことを自分でできるやつだけなんだ。三浦は状況に何の貢
Yeah,
献
acting
も
like a
していない
hero is how you end up fucking
感
dead.
情的な自己満足を優先しただけだ。
結果だけを見てあれこれ言うなら、
Mm-hmm.
おっしゃる
結果が全てだ。過程が評価されるのは結果が出た場合のみだ。まだ学生気分が抜けていないようだな、竹宮。ここは貴様が柔道ごっこをしていた仲良しスポーツクラブじゃないぞ。
This is the military. People die when they're killed.
悪いが、そんな理想論は誰かに守られていることもわからん頭でっかちどもと愚痴り合ってくれ。まだ自覚できない低能がいるようなので繰り返すが、私の使命は貴様ら全員を合格させることでも大人の世界へ導くことでもないぞ。あの連中が任官し前線に配属されていたなら、おそらくもっと深刻で致命的な状況を作り出していたことは想像に難くない。
I mean, she's right.
あいつらのような危険
You're gonna be a hazard to those around you. Might as well fucking get you out now before you get your whole fucking team killed.
友を殺す者を断固排除することだ。その意味で私の責任は重大だ。三浦や藤沢のような危険分子を早々に発見し排除できなかった。
That's what I get for being a softie, Marimo.
しかるべき処罰を受けるだ。三浦はここで死んでくれてよかった。それが軍の末席で
Oof.
あいつが行った唯一の
Ooh, I was with you. I was with you until this one there. I get the whole trying to make yourself the enemy here to fucking, you know, get everyone's mind off of it, but Instructor Jinguchi is being brutally honest, and it's absolutely understandable why. She's supposed to act that way, as the one in charge of training the new generation of surface pilots. I get why she needs to provoke us, but she still crossed the line. Perhaps she was prodding us on purpose, but I would kill her right here and now if I could. I doubt I'm the only one who feels this way.
ああ、そういえばもう一つあったな。
Ah, Instructor, please. That's enough. Don't make things even worse.
こうして貴様たちに死が常に隣にあるという事実を教えたことは褒めてやってもいい。
I mean, she's not wrong. People fucking trip and die. It happened when I was in basic. Some fucking kid in the flight behind us. They fucking passed out at PT and hit their head on the concrete rim around the track. Fucking. And that was it. Just fucking brain hemorrhaging and fucking dead.
他に何かあるか？では以上。
招待解散。各自別名あるまで自室で待機せよ。
There's no sugarcoating it. This was a disaster. Being told that Miura is dead, being utterly destroyed, psychologically speaking. Mira died because I wasn't enough of a leader. Fujisawa was staring death in the face. And the irony of it all is, this is far from the worst possible outcome. At least Fujisawa was alive. Right now, that's the only thing giving me the strength to go on. I want to see you smile, full of life. If only you could wake up now. Most of my thoughts are full of ideas like that, despite my awareness of how selfish I sound. Your survival might be good news, but it's still a reminder of the accident. I can't think of it without remembering the tragedy that caused our squad's morale to hit rock bottom. Instructor Chinguchi went too far. It's not like her argument was wrong, but she should have been satisfied with harassing just me and Takemiya. The rest of the cadets loved Miura, and Fujisawa was intimate with the most critical and unhappy among us. Did Instructor Chinguchi need to denounce them both? She spurred their anger on in order to encourage the heartbroken cadets to move on. I get that. No matter her intentions, though, it's not going to work. Trying to turn the rest of us against her like that isn't going to end well. Well, it's not like any of you can do anything about it. She'll fucking kick your ass.
Takemiya. 私が柔軟な対応が一番大事なんて言わなきゃよかったんだ。私が散々あの子たちにそんなこと吹き込まなきゃ。
I mean, their strategy wasn't wrong. It's just, she went too hard in the paint, you know? It's no wonder Takemiya blames herself. Mira thanked her as she rushed to help Fujisawa. And that was the last time they spoke.
違うわよ、Takemiya。あんたのせいじゃない。柔軟な対応が重要なのは実戦でも日常でも当然のことでしょう。あんたが悪いわけじゃない。
However, you're supposed to master the basics before you begin to improvise. This accident made the point all too clear.
こんな私を慰めてくれるなんて。泉、本当に優しいんだね。慰めなんかじゃない。あんたが何を言おうが、それをやるって決めたのは三浦と藤沢よ。だからあんたのせいじゃ。じゃああの子たちが悪いって言うの？
Honestly, yes.
竹宮。あんたや私や分隊のために、互いのために、やっと力を合わせて頑張ろうとしたあの子たちが全部悪いって言うの？なんでそんなに冷静なのよ。なんで平気なわけ？あんたがあの子たちをもっとしっかり。
Uh-huh.
ごめん、泉。私。いいのよ。私のせいなのは確かだから。ごめん。私、そんなつもりじゃ。
That's cool. We're all emotional right now. Things happen. You say shit, don't mean.
対等な仲間としてアドバイスした。だから竹宮には何の責任もない。だけど私は指揮官としてあの子たちに命令していた。神宮寺教官が何と言おうと、それには責任が伴う。
Well, no, not really. And I mean that as she doesn't really deserve any of the blame.
命令するということは、その命令された人間と。
When you're dealing with trainees, it's the blind leading the blind. So it's like Marvin was saying, fucking the buck stops with her.
追うべき範囲を定めたルールで責任が免除されても、自分が決めたルールはごまかせない。でも今の私には何もできない。だから私は一生この罪を背負って生きていくしかない。この悲しみを二度と味わわないようにするためにも。
Cat's already fucked. You can't unfuck the cat. And to avoid burdening the people I love with another tragedy like this.
いすみってやっぱり神宮寺に。 似てるんだね。
What, being a bitch?
なんか強いよね。すごく割り切ってるっていうか、動じないっていうか。私があんたの立場だったらおかしくなってたかも。
Yeah, you get hysterical pretty easily.
これ嫌味とかじゃないから、真面目にすごいって思ってるよ。竹宮、似てるんだけど、あんたと神宮寺はやっぱり違うと思う。あの人は許せない。あんな言い方するなんて。私、人として絶対許せない。
You're just shifting the blame on her, Takemiya. That's exactly what Instructor Jinguji wants.
三浦と藤沢に落ち度があるのは認める。でも死んでよかったって何なの？意識不明で生死の境をさまよってる教え子にあれでよかったって何なの？私バカだった。少しでも神宮寺がいい人なんじゃないかなって思って。やっぱりあいつは冷酷な戦闘マシーンなんだ。大陸でもああやってあの人を切り捨てたんだ。
Well, if she did, it was probably because it was a no-win situation, and the only thing she could do was leave. Moments like this, I hate myself for not being willing to go along, even if it would be only for her sake. Keeping my thoughts to myself is incredibly taxing.
ねえ、なんで黙ってるの、いすみ。あんたは違うよね。いすみ。
I will play the role I'm given, but I won't go against my core beliefs. I won't lie, even if doing so would help Takemiya to cope. Should I lie to her now, it will hurt all the more once she finds out. I'm sick of hurting people with lies. I can't do it anymore. What I have to do now is to tell her the truth, no matter how difficult it may be. I wish I could keep my emotions in check, like Instructor Jinguji does. I want to be like her. I want her unwavering devotion to a single purpose. I want that strength she has to shoulder her responsibilities no matter the cost.
いすみ、ねえ、違うって言ってよ。
All things considered, Instructor Jinguji and I are different in several aspects. That does not mean I can completely disregard any similarities we might have, though.
お願いだから違うって言ってよ、いすみ。私は。
おい、ちょっといいか。
Oh, hey, yeah, it's the dude.
C 分隊の佐久間だ。いすみ、竹宮、入っていいか。
I don't feel like inviting someone in, but honestly, Sakamiya came at the right time. Sakuma, fuck. Oh god, I'm fucking mixing names up in my brain. Takamiya was going to keep pressuring me for answers. In the end, she would have ended up being hurt even worse. Compared to that, having rumors of me being a cold-hearted bitch spread around is not a big deal. Hey, it's fucking Chin, dude. Wait, he's with Karno? I've got a bad feeling about this.
悪いな、こんな時に。
あんたたちが二人揃ってくるなんて。どうしたの？
Is it? It seems like every time we see one of these guys, they're always with the other.
各分隊長を代表して、お前たちに話をしに来た。
ああ、そういうことだ。
Sakuma and Karno never stop quarreling. Having them come to talk to us together is a rare occurrence.
結論から言おう。俺たちは今から神宮寺に文句を言いに行く。だから、当事者のお前たちも一緒に来てほしいんだ。
Okay, cool. What are you gonna say? Figured as much.
俺たちは志願した以上、軍の訓練が厳しいことは重々覚悟してる。だが、この訓練校は異常だ。
何？
Well,
どういうこと？
he's not wrong about that.
俺は上の兄貴2人が帝国軍人だからわかるが、この訓練校のカリキュラムはひどすぎる。いくら大陸の状況が切迫してるって言ってもな。
ああ、別の訓練校に行った地元の連れの話を聞いたんだが、どうさっぴいて聞いてもよそはここより人道的だ。
まさに教官も言っていたが、ただ人材を潰すだけが目的と受け取れる節がある。あれは俺たちを鼓舞する方便じゃない。そう確信できた。
佐久間が確信って。
行幸新聞にいる連れにいろいろ
He's right, but he's wrong. Like, yes, it's extremely harsh, but it isn't just for fucked up reasons for shits and giggles, and I just skipped past all that dialogue and wasn't paying attention because I was talking. As friends at the morning light, right? To do some research, turns out the ones who hold the reins of school grounds isn't the headmaster, it's Jinguji. What? Okay.
What
was I saying? Oh yeah, being essentially the crucible for Alternative 4, you know. Shit's gonna be rough.
つまり逃げてきたってこと？
No.
そこまではわかんねえけどよ。例の噂。神宮寺は味方を見捨てて逃げ回ってたから生き延びたって話。あれも事実だったってオチかもな。
なんで急にそこまで調べられるのよ。
前に食品ルートをぶっ潰された時から洗ってたんだよ。なんか役に立つ情報はないかってな。
In what way?
でもあの件は誰も処分されなかったはずだけど、なんであんたが恨むのよ。
Because this guy seems pretty petty.
こっちの収入は確実に減ってんだよ。だいたい誰も処分されないなんて逆におかしいだろ。こりゃ裏に何かあるなって睨んでんだ。
Karino wants some payback. That's his angle. What happened to Fujisawa gives him the perfect opportunity. But him having contacts inside the country's most important left-wing newspaper, one that is frequently critical of the military and the government, that's coming totally out of nowhere. Okay, so that explains what Morning Light is.
なんか話がそれてない。結局何が言いたいのよ。
ああ、つまりだな。ここの異常さは帝国軍の規定じゃなく、神宮寺教官の勝手な暴走だってことが言いたいんだ。
Also false.
てめえが逃げ帰ってきたもんだから、身代わりに少しでも優秀な絵師を送り出して、そのお偉いさんに見捨てられないようにしたいんじゃねえのか？
No, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Is Sakuma so dense he doesn't notice? It's obvious Karino just wants to pin something down on Instructor Jinguji, whatever it may be. Assuming he's trying to set her up, the whole process of gathering evidence is merely a farce to get more people to join his crusade. I don't think Karino is too concerned with due process either, so his actions make sense. But I expected Sakuma to be different. Does he even care for evidence, or is he only trying to confirm what he already believes? It's a convenient rumor, to be sure, more so when everyone is overwhelmed by their own insecurities. It gives people a common enemy, lets them cling on to something.
もしそれが本当だとしたら、三浦はそんな異常な演習で。
This is bad. Takemiya and Sakuma are completely on Karino's side. Jinguji's the common enemy now. Her plan was a success far beyond her expectations. And the fact that both Miura and Fujisawa were so popular only makes things worse. Miura was practically the school's mascot. Everyone liked her. Fujisawa was always willing to lend an ear to anybody who needed to vent. And Instructor Jinguji tore down their reputation in a matter of minutes. Of course people wouldn't take this lightly. What if I point out the contradictions? Could it make them come to their senses? Probably not.
はともかく、ここの訓練規定がよそと比べて異常なのは確かだ。兄貴たちに他校規定を調べてもらって裏は取れている。俺たちはこれ以上教官の横暴に付き合う気はない。これは全分隊長の総意だ。
つまり第16英士訓練隊全員の意思ってことだ。お前たち以外のな。
三浦と藤沢の所属分隊の当事者として、できればお前たちにも賛同してほしい。
How about no?
そしてもし賛同してくれるならイスミ、お前も一緒に来てくれ。
イスミ、お前だって悔しいだろ。あのバーバー、てめえで事故に絡んでおいてあの言い草だぞ。
You know, the military doesn't take lightly to mass like essentially a mutiny like this.
あいつ、三浦と藤沢の親に同じセリフが言えるのかってんだよ。
They'll just get the fucking gussied up letter like they always do.
一つ聞いていい？
なんだ、一つと言わず何でも聞いてくれ。
ただ抗議するだけで終わりなんてつもりはないのよね。
さすがイスミだぜ。分かってらっしゃる。
教官が要求を拒んだ場合、実力行使も仕方がないと思っている。
Yeah.
実力行使って佐久間？
気は進まないが、カリノのコネクションをフル動員してもらうつもりだ。
今回の事故は神宮寺の星にとってかなりのダメージになるはずだ。大騒動にして世間の注目を集めりやマスコミも食いつく。今は事故の調査と現場検証で保安部隊もそっちにかかりきりだからな。立てこもるにしろ武器の調達にしろ、いろいろやりやすい。
Okay, this is fucking you're cranking this up to 11 real quick, bud.
しかも当事者の神宮寺は屋内待機。上層部の連中は陣頭指揮で現場に張り付いてる。やるならこのタイミングしかない。
And what do you plan to do after that? Strike while the iron is hot. Carno's being used. That newspaper connection of his wants to get hold of a real scoop, even if staging the event itself is what it takes. The target is Death herself, the Continental Campaign's ace. The Morning Light has opposed the Continental Dispatch since the beginning, because of Japan's complicated history with mainland Asia. Ooh, yeah, that's complicated is a bit of an understatement there. For an opposition newspaper, this couldn't be any better of a story.
あんたたち本気なの？最悪の場合反逆罪よ。
それは違う。反逆罪があるとすれば教官だ。訓練校を私物化し、人権蹂躙を感化している。
俺らはそれを暴くんだ。これは三浦の弔い合戦だぜ。
でも
なんだよ。
そんなことをしても三浦は喜ばないんじゃないかな。
竹宮？
私も神宮寺は許せない。だけど藤沢だってそんなこと望んでないと思う。
Well, damn, look at you being reasonable and rational. I guess a broken clock is at least right twice a day.
竹宮。
じゃなかったらあの子たち集権にあんな一生懸命にならなかったんじゃないかな。
And they came so far, but in the end, doesn't even matter.
私爆発の前にデータリンクのログで見たけど、あの子たちオルブライトターンを同時に決めてるんだよ。
Albright turn. A sea-level combat maneuver where a TSF maintains thrust and switches its vector by 180 degrees. Okay. They executed one of those most daring maneuvers we've only ever read about?
私とイズミに
Sure, man, if you say so.
二人でずっと練習してたんだよ。
I would need to see a visual representation of it to, actually understand what the fuck she's talking about, but... Come to think of it, they never let Takamiya join them when they were studying together. Was this the reason?
神宮寺のことはなんか別の方法でなんとかできないのかな。
おい竹宮、お前あいつらはお前らに恩を返し。
いいんだ竹宮。俺たちは無理強いをする気はない。ただこれは三浦や藤沢だけの問題じゃない。俺たちは候補生からあんな目に遭うやつをもう二度と出したくないだけなんだ。それだけは分かってくれ。
気持ちはわかるよ。
Doesn't mean you're right.
そんなことが言いたいんじゃないのは分かっているが、念のためお前が賛成しなかったことは記録しておく。
いや、私は。
いいからそうしとけって。
カリノ。
別に俺らは多数決で従わせたいわけじゃねえからな。全員自分で決めたんだ。だからお前の意思も尊重する。
Cool. Thanks, bro.
ごめん、カリノ。
謝るところかよ、バーガ
ごめん。
ー。お前の言う通り、もし藤沢が俺らの行動に反対だったら、あいつのことだ。俺らとは絶対口も聞かなくなる。だからお前はその時のための保険だ。あいつがここに戻ってきた時のな。
カリノ。
泉、お前はどうする？
いろいろ聞かせてもらって安心したわ。
お前もやめとくか。
No.
いえ、
Oh?
行くわ。
Oh, but you'll go alone?
さすがいすみ。やっぱただの優等生じゃねえな。
嬉しくないわね。それ。
褒め言葉だぜ。お前、黒幕の素質十分だって前々から思ってたんだ。
お前が賛同してくれるのは心強いよ、泉。これで全分隊長が揃った。
待って佐久間。あんたたちは残って。
Yeah, you two aren't smart enough for this.
はあ？何言ってんだよ、いすみ。お前、やっぱ反対なのかよ。
カリノ、私が行くって言ってるのよ。
どういうことだ？説明してもらえるか？
向こうだってバカじゃないわ。反感買うことなんて計算済みでしょうね。
Mm-hmm.
さっき聞いたでしょ。私たちを排除するためにいるって。ガン首揃えてのこのこ出向けば危険分子としてその場で一網打尽もあり得るわよ。
あのババアがそこまで俺らを買ってるとは思えねえな。
Really?
どうせ何もできねえふぬけだって決めつけてやがんだろ。
相手は死神神宮寺よ。仮にあんたが言うように逃げ回って生き延びたんなら、なおさら最悪の事態には備えるでしょうね。
Yeah, fucking Marmo's got that thing on her, you know, her little bop bop. She's fucking ready.
確かにな。
それに、もともとあんたは行くべきじゃない。外部との連絡や裏ルートのコントロールを人任せにする気？
まあ、そう言われればそうだけどよ。
だが泉、正当性はこちらにある。最初からことを構える姿勢で臨むべきじゃないだろう。全分隊の代表である俺たちが揃ってこそ候補生の総意であることを示せるんじゃないのか。
佐久間、あんた何も学んでないわね。結果が全てだっていう教官のあれ、正論よ。
No.
だが
勝敗は準備で決まるのよ。ファーストストライクはスタートの合図に過ぎない。それにこれはもともと F 分隊の問題。私一人で行くのが流れ的にも一番自然で警戒されないはずだわ。
なるほど。
私の要求が拒絶されたら、その時こそあんたたちが動けばいい。
やっぱいすみは味方にすると頼りになるぜ。いいんじゃねえのか、それで。
確かに泉の言う通りだな。可能な限りリスク回避をしておくことは正しい。
Yes, risk mitigation is good.
三浦たちの分隊長が差しでやるっつんだ。他の連中も納得すんだろ。しかもいすみは神宮寺を一番恨んでる。
That's a pretty bold assumption you're making there.
私、そんなこと言ったかしら。
無理すんなよ、優等生。あんだけ目の敵にされりゃ恨むのが普通だろ。
別に普通じゃないわ。
ま、出世狙ってるお前がそれを隠したいって気持ちはわかるぜ。
Yeah, Izumi's already fucking got it down pat that this is all just a game.
しかしその冷静さはさすがだな。こんな時でも動じないお前は本当にすごいよ。
そんなこと。
And you'd be a real asshole to fucking hold a grudge, you know, for something that happens during the game.
正直なところ、俺たちかなり頭に血が上ってたよ。全く面目ない。
Nope, fuck. You know, I hate my fucking mouse wheel. Sometimes I scroll and it doesn't do anything. Sometimes I scroll and it fucking skips twice like that. What do you say there, bud? We're going to check up on you after a while, just in case something happens. You okay with that? Makes sense he'd come up with a way to ensure his plan works. He's got a handle on this. Way more than Sakuma, but that's to be expected from someone who regularly deals with the underworld.
わかった。じゃあ、早速動くわ。
頼んだぞ。俺たちも準備にかかろう。
おう。
泉、
Well, time to get her fucking shit kicked in.
なんで
You can really tell I'm tired because this whole episode I've been fucking stuttering and fucking stumbling on my words.
わかってる、竹宮。調子合わせて手の内を聞き出しただけ。だから安心して。
じゃあ
三浦も藤沢も絶対あんなこと望んでない。
Yeah, we're gonna throw these bitches under the bus.
あんた一体どうするつもりなの？
大丈夫。私に考えがある。だからできる限りのバックアップ頼むわよ。
でも
打ち合わせしてる時間なんてない。こんな状況で後ろを任せられるのはもうあんたしかいないんだから。
泉、わかった。なんとかやってみる。
頼んだわよ。
I'm sorry, Takamiya. I lied to you.
それにしても。
Who would have thought that my reputation as the instructor's #1 target would ever come in handy? Life's full of surprises. No guards? So the plot against the instructors was mere empty talk. Garno's connection is just a random idiot who blew things out of proportion, your typical yellow journalist. He might be known for his connections to the underworld, but Garno's not a bad guy. More of a Robin Hood than a sheriff of Nottingham. Since he's always profiting from the rest of the cadets, perhaps his little rebellion is a way to ease his guilty conscience. In any case, this is a chance to use Karano's connections to do the right thing. It's obvious this newspaper reporter is taking advantage of his personal flaws. Anything for a story. This contact doesn't give a damn whether the plan succeeds or fails. As long as there's a controversy surrounding Instructor Jinguchi, Karano's friend is golden. So my task is to remove any sort of justification for Karano and Sakuma's uprising. Once the two heads of the conspiracy lay down their arms, this farce will end. No one really wants things to escalate that far anyway. Everyone is just going along to blow off some steam. In fact, I don't think Sakuma himself is particularly fond of the idea, even though he might pretend otherwise in front of Karano. But Karano will not let things go farther. He's shrewd enough to know there's no profit to be made in antagonizing the upper brass by himself. That much is obvious from the way he acted when the contraband route was taken out. Yeah, I'm the one at fault. My lack of leadership brought about this situation. However, there's one thing I can do to put an end to this predicament. I can mediate between the instructors and the cadets.
さて、どうしたものか。
The cadets' actions may be morally justified, but that doesn't mean I can sit back and let this mess spiral out of control. Problem is, I can't think of any concrete measures to stop it from happening. If I fail to cut this insurrection short, my attempt to find common ground with Instructor Jinguchi will have been a complete waste of time. I'll only end up providing ammo for Karano's puppet masters. Miura's death and Fujisawa's injuries would have been for nothing. I can't let those vultures profit from their pain. I won't let imbeciles like them interfere with my goals. I will never let them defile the place where I belong.
なんでそんなに冷静なのよ。なんで平気なわけ？なんか強いよね。
Well, that's the benefit of being emotionally stunted and, you know, fucking distant.
私があんたの立場だったらおかしくなってたかも。
しかしその冷静さはさすがだな。こんな時でも動じないお前は本当にすごいよ。
何がさすがよ。
As if they could have any idea what I'm feeling. How can they actually believe I'm not upset? I may not have deserved the position. It may have been a matter of convenience. But those two are my subordinates, and one of them died. Do they really think I'm not gonna show them, do they really think I'm gonna show them exactly how I feel? That I'll let everything bubble up to the surface? The others wear their heart on their sleeves. And why does that mean I have to do the same? Even if it's not what they believe, that's how they want things to be. Is that what the sentence said? And that's how they want. Okay, yeah, sure. I just read it weird. My cadence was a little funky. I'm not like them. Not at all. I'm not candid like them. I can't just say what's on my mind. I'm not like that. We have obligations. We joined the army, for God's sake. This country needs people who are aware of their duties. Yeah, you can't just bitch and moan about every little thing that upsets you.
ダメだ。やっぱり。
That's why there's this good old saying of fucking shut up and color. Letting my frustration get the better of me. Pathetic. I'm well aware of my image. That's exactly why I'm acting like I do. I made the decision to act as a model cadet. No one forced my hand. So why am I getting angry at them and not at myself? Seems like I really am a horrible person.
でも、ある意味羨ましいわね。
To be able to see only what's in front of you. That sort of simple-mindedness. I wish I could be like them. My life would have been so much easier. Ignorance is bliss. Anger overcomes fear. The accident hit close to home for all of us. Instructor Jinguji fanned the flames of her anger to wake us up from our stupor. Those are the facts. She believed we would overcome our predicament by uniting in hatred against the common enemy, herself. What's happening now only proves she was right. The effects, however, were far stronger than she anticipated.
いや、やはり想定内と見ておくべきか。
Simple matter of cause and effect. She provokes us, and we join together to oppose her. She must have considered that riots could happen. Worst case scenario, so to speak. But I shouldn't make light of how people are influenced by their emotions. I just had some first-hand experience, after all. Even I was overcome in a matter of minutes, despite the fact that I actively suppressed my emotional side. Seems the base's security level hasn't been increased. No matter how confident management appears to be, the lack of security could almost be called a dereliction of duty. The cadets will make an opening move. I'm sure the base won't be able to respond in time to whatever they're planning to do. Assuming that's the case, even if the cadets overthrow security, they'll be hard-pressed to deal with their injured. That's probably what the higher-ups are expecting. Much to the delight of the Morning Lights reporters, the damage caused to our academy will make for gripping headlines. And I will lose the place where I belong.
やはり、なんとかするしかない。
This is the worst, in the most literal sense of the word. The upper brass likely expects things to calm down once people start getting injured, but what if the riot itself isn't the endgame? If that's the case, there's only one thing they could be after: the expulsion of the person all cadets have resented since day one, Instructor Jinguji Marimo, the most hated person in the space. There must be plenty of soldiers planning to use the cadets' anger to take revenge on her. Not to mention, it'd be the perfect chance to pay her back for disposing of the black market route. This is way bigger than Karino. It has to be.
今日更新聞はそこに無関係だと思いたいが。
Stop. You always have to assume the worst. Right now, I'm all that stands between Instructor Jinguji and the cadets. I need to forge a mutual understanding. That's such a weird transition. I don't know how I feel about it. To be honest, I want to run away. Yura is gone, and Fujisawa straddles the line between life and death. All I want to do is look the other way and find a hole I can crawl into. need something to distract myself. Losing to my own emotions is out of the question. Now that I think about it, this has always been a bad habit of mine. I've been this way since the start. When I'm emotionally overwhelmed, I tend to retreat into my thoughts to try and keep myself under control. To feel better about myself, I always assume the worst and start working on countermeasures. I mean, there are fucking worse coping mechanisms in the world. And once I've confirmed that the worst case scenario did not come to pass, I can finally be at ease. I've been running away like this all my life. There's not much time left. 20 more minutes and the other squad leaders will come check on me. I need to get some concrete results fast. The only way I could force Karino and Sakuma to back down is by getting an apology from Instructor Jinguji. Even a retraction would work. Anything less than a riot happens. Retraction? Retraction. Basically, I must present them her head on a platter. However, Instructor Jinguji won't do anything that undermines her position. She might have spoken in the heat of the moment and used emotionally charged language, but I don't see her simply taking her words back.
何よ、ここに来てだんまり？たっく、これだから頭のいいやつは。あれこれ考えて前に進まないったら。やめてよ。私が聞きたいのはあんた自身の言葉よ、イズミ。イズメの上等句なんかじゃない。
まったく。あんたたちの言う通りだわ。
Instructor Jinguji is not someone I can convince with fancy rhetoric alone. That being the case, it seems we're destined to clash with each other. Should it come down to that, I'll have no choice but to improvise. Well, he did cry and snot all over her, so I'll have to endure, just like when she tried to break me. Sadly for her, I have even more to fight for now. Merely restating the group's opinion won't do any good, even if my position is bolstered by the legitimacy that representing all the squads brings. No, if I want to win, I must do so with my own words. I must speak of my regrets regarding Miura's passing, of my wishes for Fujisawa's recovery, and of my innermost hopes. What was that? Is she punching something?
まさか。そんな。なんでよ。やめてよ。
Yeah, no, stop. You can't show us your human side. We've already fucking decided that you're the villain. We can't empathize with you now. Hey, Teach, you doing good?
出ていけ、イスミ。入室を許可した覚えはないぞ。
なんであなたが。
バカ者、出ていけと言ってるのが聞こえんのか。
Why? Tell me why.
イズミ、貴様、何のつもりかは知らんが、いい加減にしろ。
How'd you scrape up your thumb punching the wall? Oh my god. Like if hold on, let me fucking punch my. Man, you gotta punch real fucking weird to like scrape your thumb knuckle on the wall. Like that's not good punching form if you're fucking hitting your thumb knuckle like that.
なんだと。なんであんたが。なんでよ。三浦が死んで藤沢が重傷を負ってあれだけのことを言ったあんたがなんで泣いてるのよ。あんただけは違うと思ってたのに。
I mean, of course she's upset. Those are her students.
見た結局そういうことなの。や
やめてよ今さら。卑怯よ。ふざけるな。あんたが証明してくれるんじゃなかったのか。あんたは手に入れたんじゃないのか。多くの命と引き換えに手に入れたんじゃないのか。だから貴様はここにいるべきではないんだ。何？公正不正が分かったようなことを。何かにすがった戦いしかできない奴が最も危険なんだ。貴様のような奴が多くの友を殺す。貴様のような奴が罪を恐れて友を遠ざけるんだ。貴様のような奴が死に場所を求めて部下を巻き込むんだ。だったらここで死ね。多くの命を奪う前に。
I was blacking out, barely conscious from all her blows. My face must have been beaten beyond recognition. But there was something that shouldn't be there. I'm not talking about the blood that was running down my face. It's tears. Well, you're getting the shit kicked out of you. It's understandable your eyes might be watering a bit. Oh, hers. Instructor Jinguju was crying, yet she kept hitting me again and again. Hot streams of tears trickled down her face. That hit me harder than any of her punches. She spewed out curses barely audible amidst her sobbing, yet the hits didn't stop coming. It's almost as if she was talking to someone else. It was only after being commissioned for some time that I understood the true meaning behind her words, which sounded almost like a confession. I knew I could block her punches if I tried, but I didn't. I took everything head on. Because if I didn't, Instructor Jinguji would have crumbled on the spot. It wasn't me she was facing, but rather her own past. Jinguji Marimo spent half her life atoning for the countless people who died on the battlefield, while she alone survived. Looking back, I can't help but think this way. In a sense, maybe Instructor Jinguji saw her former self in me. Maybe that's why she was so hard on me all the time. You're suited for politics, not for the military. Don't repeat my mistakes. You're not that strong. I didn't understand back then, but today I finally realized the meaning behind her words. Instructor Jinguji had fallen, her face on my chest, choking on her own snot and tears. It was the last thing I saw before I lost consciousness. What was real and what was my mind playing tricks on me? To this day, I still don't know. Why did her tears upset me so much? Back then, I had no idea. However, I did not leave empty-handed. Thanks to my actions, I managed to prevent the cadets from being dismissed. It's unbelievable when you think about it. A cold-headed stickler for the rules like myself risking a summary dismissal from the army by attacking an instructor. To make matters worse, my sparring partner was none other than Jinguji Death Marimo. I remember myself fainting, losing consciousness, and bleeding all over the floor. And I remember her straddling me, still crying as she beat my face into a pulp. The scene was bizarre enough to make those who witnessed it shudder in terror. The cadets completely lost their drive for vengeance then and there, and really, who could blame them? For someone like me, who prides herself in always acting in the most logical and efficient manner, the result was quite ironic. By disregarding all the cadets' demands and losing my composure as soon as I encountered the first obstacle, I solved the crisis. Now that I think about it, this whole affair was a huge turning point for me. Something unexpected came to light after the board inquiry examined the remains of Miura's TSF. The inspectors discovered Miura and Fujisawa had taken certain measures to ensure that they could execute a bold sea-level maneuver. Oh yeah, that's right, they fucking took out the regulators. Speaking concretely, they disabled their TSF's limiters and crew safety systems. To conceal their actions, They fed fake information to the observers by deploying a virus on the network overseeing the exercise. Oh! That's why Instructor Jinkuji didn't catch them cheating beforehand, and why Instructor Nirasawa wasn't able to take control of Miura's TSF. All this was considered highly confidential information, nothing mere cadets like us would be told about. Karano, however, was somehow able to access the network and extract the information in real time. In the face of the final examination, all Miura and Fujisawa cared about was achieving our goals. How legitimate the means used was never a concern. Testimony from support staff drove the point home. Fujisawa had won the mechanics on her side, which made the fact that she was in cahoots with Miura crystal clear. But even if no witnesses had come forward, the upper brass should have already been aware of their culpability. The data link was tampered with, but there was no need for further analysis. It would have been obvious to headquarters something abnormal was going on just by reading the logs of the external observation monitor. Yeah, God forbid they look at the black box. Which is actually orange. It's just called the black box because most times they find it, it's burnt to a crisp. Good old crash survivable data unit. Perhaps Instructor Chinguchi knew. Back when she paraded Fujisawa and Miura in front of us, maybe she knew the extent of their deceit. In any case, the truth of this accident changed everything. With the investigation brought to light, what the investigation brought to light would have led to the Academy closing down under normal circumstances. And yet, no one was punished for anything that went down. Even I, who assaulted a superior officer, suffered no retaliation. Yeah, this this kind of stuff just kind of gets swept under the rug. No harm, no foul. Several days after ordering all cadets to remain on standby, the Board of Inquiry announced its final verdict. Miura's death was determined to be the result of an unfortunate training accident. And just like that, our daily life full of pain returned, like nothing had ever happened. Well, that's not quite accurate. For where my life was once a bad dream, now it would become a full-blown nightmare. Maybe it was in response to the accident, but the instructors had become harsher than ever. And then, 2 days later, I found out why Miura and Fujisawa had decided to bend the rules.
おい竹宮、お前あいつらはお前らに恩を返し。
She couldn't get Karino's words out of her head. Ever since the accident, Takemiya, who continued to wither away before my eyes, had tried to find out why Miura and Fujisawa decided to cheat. She found a clue in what Karino had said before, and after confronting him and getting his cooperation, she finally got hold of one particular mechanic who was involved in Miura's plot. Takemiya made him talk and found out what Miura and Fujisawa had said. Her own beliefs, her hatred for Instructor Jinguchi, her wish for atonement. What was behind her single-minded pursuit of the truth? I wonder if she ever knew herself, because I most certainly don't. But I will never forget Takemiya's face, drained of all vigor, as she told me what had been on their minds. Our performance is bringing the whole squad down. Takemiya and Izumi have a promising future ahead of them. We don't want to ruin it. We don't want to get in the way of their dreams. We want to repay their kindness. We want to give them a chance to beat Jinguji. That's how Miura and Fujisawa justified themselves. In other words, they broke the rules for our sake. I can reach no other conclusion. To pay us back, Miura racked her brains, and Fujisawa made use of the underground connection she had once renounced.
私
Yeah, that's gotta fucking sting.
気づいてあげられなかったんだろう。
In one sense, that maintenance soldier's testimony saved us. In another, it was a cruel and unexpected blow. Takemiya had felt responsible for the accident's outcome since the beginning. After learning about their motivations, she kept on blaming herself more and more. Not a trace remained of the woman who was once loved by everyone. Takemiya's cheerful personality was long gone. 5 days later, she left the school. Fujisawa escaped death and left the hospital 6 months later. Considering the mental and physical trauma she had to go through, It came as no surprise she was in no condition to return to service pilot training and was granted a DOR. I haven't gotten in touch with either of them since. Hey, sometimes it's just how it be.
任官おめでとうございます、少尉殿。
神宮寺軍曹。
God,
貴様
I
の教練に心から
fucking hate
感
the
謝する。
hats. I'm sorry. It's so goofy looking. You know, like, I'm not one to talk. I have the bus driver hat. If you don't know, you know, normally just get issued the little fucking flight cap, the little fucking fry cook hat. You know, that's usually all you get. But I fucking went out of my way and I bought the fucking bus driver hat because, you know, back in technical training, everyone needed to march together. But if you were out of uniform, you know, you couldn't march with everyone. So a bunch of me and my guys, you know, we all bought ourselves bus driver hats. So that way we could march in our own little special formation in the back. And then we got chewed out. We couldn't do that anymore. But I still have it. Super overpriced too. It's like $30 for the hat itself, and then the medallion in the front, like, you know, Marimo's fucking Sakura Blossom and whatever this is on the bottom, some kind of laurels. That was $30 too, and of course there's separate ones for officers enlisted. So $60 in total for a hat. Wouldn't recommend buying it. I'd never get to wear it either because since I'm in maintenance now, we never wear blues.
はあ、妨害のお言葉、身に余る光栄です。
私はあなたを一生忘れない。
存じております、少尉殿。ですが。
Also, her salute's a little too high up. Normally, when you salute, it's supposed to be like tip of your middle finger. I don't know how the Japanese military does it. But most militaries, it's like the tip of your finger is either to your eyebrow, like the brim of your hat, or if you're wearing glasses, the fucking rim of your glasses.
あなたはおやめください。私は下士官です。
If you actually saluted like that, people would make fun of you. Though she does have a good 90 degree on her upper arm, which is nice compared to some of the salutes we saw in Unlimited. Because, oh my god, fucking Unlimited, their salutes were terrible. She's right. There's no need to be formal. She's a non-commissioned officer, NCO, which makes it weird how everyone always salutes everyone else, no matter if they're, you know, an actual officer, an NCO. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. My plan was supposed to lead us to victory. Instead, Miura died and Fujisawa was left in a coma. And the worst part is that, as harsh as it sounds, they had no one to blame but themselves. I can't begin to imagine how unbearable this must have been for Takemiya. All she wanted was to see us be commissioned together, a wish that would never come true. If there'd been no accident, Miura's and Fujisawa's standing in the class would have changed drastically. The rest of the class would have been in awe of their wit and bravery. The fact that they cheated wouldn't have mattered, and they would have praised them for their grit and determination. The result alone would have been sufficient for the upper brass to look the other way. Because in a real fight, winning is all that matters. Miura and Fujisawa sought to lead us to victory by making use of the environment and the scarce resources we were given to release us from the deadlock we were in. I used to think Miura was just a good girl and that Fujisawa was empty inside, covering her vacuousness? Vacuousness? Vacuous, that's the word, vacuous. Because I remember Bloodborne. Bloodborne? Reggie, fucking Bloodborne. Bloodborne, you know, that stupid boss, Rom the vacuous spider. Vacuousness with sarcasm. I thought that's all there was to them. Now I know I was blind all along. If they'd been commissioned, it's very likely their talents would have blossomed. Not to mention the matter of having performed a sea-level Albright turn before becoming a full-fledged pilot, shooting down Instructor Jinkuji in the process. Both would have become legends, I'm sure. However, glory was not what fate had in store for them. Their individual abilities did not catch up with their ambitions, not at the time. In the end, what happened was my fault as well. I should have accounted for their skill level and adjusted our tactics accordingly. We could have avoided a crisis by going after targets with maximum efficiency. With our maximum efficiency. That was the commander's duty, and I failed. I killed Miura. I maimed Fujisawa. Takemiya had no reason to blame herself. What happened back then was that I failed to realize Miura and Fujisawa were planning to cheat. Why wasn't I questioned personally? Why were there no questions about the incident itself? It seems so obvious now. Back in those days, that was the Empire's last chance to properly train new surface pilots. Good old Beta. Even then, the signs of her impending defeat were obvious to all who wanted to see. Given our lack of internal resources and the situation on the continent, it was a fact that could no longer be ignored. In that perpetual state of emergency, the government had no time to worry about appearances. The former Sakaki administration foresaw the current state of affairs years ago and chose to prioritize a different set of goals, their own. Hey, it's that, I remember the CG. It's from the end of Unlimited, when everyone fucking dies in Operation Babylon. Japan had been on the verge of collapse for several years. The ruling party knew. That's why they chose to train their successors, men and women who would prepare for the day Japan falls. Who would be prepared. Military service was where new prospects were groomed, where the political leadership and the upper brass sought to mold young men and women to the leaders of tomorrow. I only realized the implications of this policy after I assumed command of my own unit. We were incorporated into the United Nations forces, where we became the Special Task Force for a secret international plan. That's when it finally dawned on me why they imposed such a harsh training regimen on us. And several months later, I had all the answers. Thinking about it, it made sense. We couldn't grasp what loss is like until we experienced it for ourselves. I was appointed a squad leader early on, but I wasn't able to understand what it meant to be a commander until I'd gone through losing a subordinate. After being commissioned, the accident lingered on my mind, tormenting me every day. It also taught me, in a way that I could never forget, how important the proper allocation of roles within a team is. Takemiya and I were among the best of all cadets, while Miura and Fujisawa constantly had subpar grades. I'd wondered why we were assigned to the same squad for a long time. The answer was there all along. It was so that we could learn from each other. The idea being, when someone as dogmatic as me and someone as zealous as Takemiya were paired with people who weren't on the same level as us, we would be forced to make things work somehow. Talk about missing the forest for the trees. Commander is not necessarily supposed to be better than their subordinates. What a commander is supposed to do is assign the right role to each member, taking them to the next stage of their personal growth. Back in my time at the academy, the other cadets seemed childish to me. I looked down on them, put a distance between us, and forced the others to follow the rules with no room for discussion. Takemiya changed everything. Her zeal slowly got to me, and the same goes for Fujisawa's caustic little quips and Miura's mistakes. I got emotional and clashed with them. In doing so, my real self was laid bare. Little by little, my facade crumbled. That I would end up dropping all pretenses was just a matter of time. As we grew to understand each other, I could assign them to the roles they were most suited for. That's when we truly started bonding. That's why Miura and Fujisawa must have tried to determine how they could release us from our impasse, to figure out how to beat one of the instructors. If only things had gone the other way. No, there's no point dwelling on what will never be. Back then, if I could have dropped all pretenses from the start, if I could have just been myself all along, the worst might not have come to pass. Well, a lot of things could happen. My quiet personality, the short time we spent together, they're all just excuses. I know now that pretending to be someone I'm not will only result in more blood on my hands. That's the lesson I learned. The reason I never left anything to chance again. To think people had to lose their lives for me to understand something so simple. My life will end in a matter of minutes. What point is there in dwelling on the wounds of the past? Well, there's no other time to do it. Perhaps there is one. Perhaps this is a confession of my sins. I guess the past will keep haunting me, no matter how close to death I am. Instructor Jinguji must have felt like this too, and it took me until this moment to notice. You guys made me realize something so important. That's why, now... I'm an idiot. Really. A hopeless idiot. Yayoi wasn't the one who didn't understand me. Same goes for Takemiya, Fujisawa, and Miura, or Marika and Akira. The one who truly didn't understand me was myself, trying to make us work together as a well-oiled machine so that the group could become something more than the sum of its parts. That was the duty of Sergeant Jinguji. I messed up the sentence. That was the duty Sergeant Jinguji was entrusted with in training school. And in the Izumi family, that was the task entrusted to Yayoi. Oh god, my fucking brain is melting right at the end! What I wanted wasn't to become a leader or to inherit the role of the firstborn daughter. What I wanted to become was Yayoi. Thinking about it, it was all too obvious. The real reason why I admired Instructor Jinguji so much is because she resembled Yayoi. Why did I feel such intense anger towards her when I saw her grieving? I didn't know then, but now I'm finally aware of the reason. It wasn't that I felt betrayed, and it wasn't me being disappointed either. Instructor Jinguji played the thankless role of being the bad guy to perfection. For that, I put her on a pedestal. Day after day, I measured myself against her. So when Miura died, I assumed her pain must have been eased by her unwavering sense of duty. From my perspective, she had long stopped being a person. Instead, she turned into an ideal, into what I aspired to be. I never expected to see her weeping right before my eyes, and that's when it dawned on me. Instructor Jinguji wasn't anything like me. She was just like Yayoi instead. And much like Instructor Jinguji had been playing her role, so had Yayoi. Maybe she simply had to act like the eldest daughter. No, that's definitely it. In the end, I never really tried to look at people beyond what's on the surface. That's what led me to look down on my squad mates as well. It's just an extra moe point. Maybe I had been relying on Yoi all along. Because I could never become the eldest daughter, I could do what would be unthinkable for her. But perhaps she was able to play her role to mediate between us, precisely because I was never content.
じゃあ仕方ないな。最後の手段だ。恥のかきついでに告るよ。私はいすみが好き。私さ、いすみみたいに何でもできちゃう人、すごく憧れちゃうんだ。でもさ、藤沢の言葉じゃないけど、あんたみたいに何でもできちゃう天才って 多分わかんないと思うんだよね。思ったようにパッとできない人間が抱える悔しさとかネガティブになっちゃう気持ちって。だからね、私がいすみとあの子たちをつなぐ役をやればいいのかなって。そうすれば文体がうまく回るのかなって。
Well, you tried your best, Takemiya.
憧れちゃったらさ、その人を少しでも助けてあげたいじゃん。
Come on, don't cry right before you blow up. That's gonna make it harder on me. I learned how I'm supposed to behave through the interactions I had with my sisters. Problem was, I didn't try to adapt after I became a cadet. No doubt that's why Takemiya and the others rejected me so strongly at first. Getting along with my sisters was an easy task. I barely saw them, and when I did, it wasn't difficult to keep up the facade for a short while. Things don't work like that once you enlist. We were in each other's company 24/7. Anyone would be hard-pressed to endure my inquisitorial nature for so long. That's a fucking word. It's no wonder I thought Takemiya wasn't particularly noteworthy at first. She had one goal in mind, for us to be commissioned together. It was hard to notice, but she played the same role Yayoi did back when all of us Izumi sisters were living together. Takemiya was a reassuring presence, one that would mellow my headstrong character. As for Fujisawa, she played my part, rebelling against the one person she couldn't stand. It was hard to bear, to see how I once acted with my own eyes. Yup. And Miura, she was what connected us. She was the one that brought our squad together. It's thanks to them that I made it this far. Thank you, Takemiya. Thank you, Miura. Thank you, Fujisawa. There's no way I could ever forget you. If I hadn't met you guys, I would have passed away still lying to myself. You gave me so much.
Sate, そろそろ最後の仕事だ。
No, not the music! No! Seems I'm still missing the forest for the trees. I never needed to dwell on the past. The answers were in front of me all along. Even serving under someone like me, my subordinates found their way. They never stopped looking forward, and I'm sure they will play their part. The best of the best, trained by a brave woman with a distinguished history of military service. The son and daughters of Chinguji Marimo. My subordinates were too good for me. It's time. Oh damn! I like everyone's designs. Good designs. Go back, show them again. I didn't see good enough look. Hey, there we go. Okay, Mei's hair is kind of weird. Like, I know I complain about the alternative anime's design where there's not enough hair vent, but this one they made like the top and side one contiguous piece, which like makes more sense, but also it's different, which means I don't like it because it's not what I'm used to when I'm scared.
貴様たちは最高の英士であり、私の誇りだ。任務半ばで先立つことは甚だ遺憾であるが、貴様たちであれば安心して後を任せられる。私なき後も人類の勝利とオルタネイティブ4完遂に向け、これまで以上に精励してくれることと確信する。早瀬、部隊の指揮は貴様に任せる。よろしく頼むぞ。
はい。 お任せください。
部下をしごくのもほどほどにな。
大尉、お世話になりました。あの世は退屈でしょうが、しばらく我慢していてください。いずれ私も。
余計な心配はするな。向こうには柏木たちもいる。貴様たちの顔は当分見たくない。
Oof, yeah. About that Izumi.
大尉、
貴様たちは急がなくていい。私たちだけで十分だ。神宮寺軍曹の言葉忘れるなよ。
はい。
鈴宮、
はい。
部隊を頼む。戦場でも後方でも貴様の存在が部隊に与える安心感はとても大きい。
Yeah, it's a real shame your head got ripped off.
はい。
早瀬をうまく扱えるのはお前だけだ。しっかりやれ。
By the warrior class beta, the ones with the arms on the top of their head, because I remember the classes of the beta now. I studied. I looked at the chart. So that way I literally don't get every single name of the beta wrong like I did during my anime reaction. Oh my god, so embarrassing. Which if you haven't watched, go watch it. You know, pump those numbers, dog. Though I should be saying that on those videos to this one, because that one's approaching like 400 views right now? I don't know. As the Cap's doing her little speeches, I'll pull up the YouTube Studio app on my phone. Yeah, it's over 500 views now, so I should really be telling all those fucks to you know, get educated and you know, watch these videos instead.
十分に気をつけてからかいます。
そうか。
大尉の部下であれたこと、いすみバルキリーズの一員であれたことを誇りに思います。
風間、早瀬と宗像の間をうまく取り持って新任どもをまとめ上げろ。貴様の穏やかさは部隊の潤滑油だからな。
はい。
貴様との約束、とうとう果たせなかったな。許してくれ。
大尉、そんな。
手配だけはしてある。他の誰かと行くといいだろう。
大尉、申し訳ありません。
I forget if they told us what their promise was.
新任ども、くれぐれもよろしく頼んだぞ。
はい、大尉。お世話になりました。
Good salutes, a little too high up.
鈴宮、貴様の能力は決して誰に劣るものでもない。
大尉。
だが、思い込みにとらわれ、自分で自分を追い込む癖が貴様の成長の足かせになっているんだ。
Which is exactly why you're not going to be Storm Vanguard. Haha, suck it.
貴様が全てを背負い込む必要はない。そして誰も貴様がそうすることを求めてはいない。姉さんを早く安心させてやれ。ついでに早瀬もな。
Well, yeah, Suzumiya. I mean, Akane survived. Well, she is Suzumiya too, but you know, it's easier to just call her Akane. She survived until the end, didn't she? Because yeah, she got really injured in the attack on the base, so she never you know, had to go on the fucking Operation Cherry Blossom.
貴様はもう少し肩の力を抜くことを覚えろ。そうすれば本来持っている能力が実を結ぶはずだ。それは英士としてだけではなく、貴様の人生のいかなることにおいても必ずプラスになる。
Yep, all you know, 1 month of life you have left. I'd actually have to double check the chronology. I can't remember.
貴様を見ていると、
how far apart Operation 21st and Operation Cherry Blossom are.
私と同じ鉄を踏まないようにな。要領よくやれ。
い。短い間でしたがお世話になりました。
Again, too high. You're wearing glasses. You should put the tip of your middle finger on the edge of like the rim of your glasses. You know,
はい。
of like the arm that comes up to connect to the the actual glass part of the glasses.
貴様の明るさは舞台の財産だ。どんな時もそれを失わないでほしい。
ありがとうございます。
ただ普段の貴様はマイペースすぎる。時には人の話をじっくり聞くことも重要だぞ。
はい。
同じポジションの風間からいろいろなことを学べ。いいな。
And actually, like listen to the things instead of just having them so open it goes in one ear and out the other.
はい。ありがとうございました。
綾峰、貴様は一見冷静に見えるが、とても激しく熱い心を秘めているな。
I'm a little mixed on Ayamine's redesign for the anime. They kind of nerfed her tits, but like buffed her ass. And I'm more of an if I had to pick between tits and ass, I'm more of an ass man because bony asses hurt.
貴様はそれを見せることが
But
弱さや
tits
好
are
きだと
tits.
思っているのだろう。
So
だが
I'm mixed, because it's the meme image from the is it the alternative manga? I think is like the one where she's like telling Takuri like shut up or I'll suffocate you with my tits or something.
人がお互いに理解を深めるには本音や内面を
So
さらけ出
she's
す
the
こと
booba girl,
が大
but
切な場合がある。
but they nerfed the booba.
人に頼るのも頼られるのもそう悪いことではないぞ。
はい。
感情をコントロールできることは素晴らしいスキルだ。だがそれをもっとうまく使え。いいな。
大尉、お世話になりました。
Also get better taste in men.
玉瀬。他人を思いやり何よりも和を重んじる貴様は人間として立派だと思う。だが貴様は他人を気にするあまりいざ自分が注目される状況になると萎縮してしまっているように見える。
はい。
貴様は少しわがままを言うくらいでちょうどいい。あるがままの自分を相手に認めてもらえば楽になるはずだ。
はい。ありがとうございました。
That was way too high, Tom. Oh my god.
三剣。
You're like saluting the top of your head. What are you doing? What are you doing, kid?
はい。常に己が戒めとします。
よし。では思い出話に付き合ってくれ。
はい。
私にはとてもよくできた姉がいてな。明るくおおらかな姉にコンプレックスを抱いていた私は彼女とは心に距離を置き冷めた態度で接していた。今思い返すとあの頃の私は姉のようになろうと必死にもがいていたことがわかる。私は私でいいんだということに気づいてやっと心から姉に向き合えるようになったんだ。
Yeah, so hurry up and connect with Yuhi so that way we can hurry up and get to is it Altered Fable that has like her side stories and stuff in it? Because I've heard like yeah Yuhi just fucking comes out of nowhere, left field, and completely steals the show.
つまらない話を聞かせてしまったな。達者で。
大尉、お世話になりました。
I don't know. Is Altered Fable part of Photon Melodies? I know like this is, like Photonflowers is like a mixture of like a couple different like side story iterations.
はい。
せっかく貴様に教えてもらった温泉作戦、決行できず無念だ。
大尉。
その代わり、貴様は必ずあの命令を遂行しろ。
今までの償いをします。
よし。あとは
I haven't heard enough Tucker's new voice actor to decide if I like him or not.
はい。
I do like his redesign, though. I do think giving him darker hair was a good choice.
以上だ。
Though obviously I'm still very upset they got rid of Sumika's massive ribbon, pretty much nerfed her ahoge and got rid of her air vents. Like, her brain is gonna overheat. She's already, like, on the edge of it fucking about to catch on fire anyway at just, like, the most trivial of mental tasks. So without it, she's doomed. How is the 00 unit supposed to cool down? It's over. It's over. The last time I'll act as a squad commander. Is it moving on its own? I honestly can't tell. I did the best I could with the time I had left. I taught them all I knew. The future is theirs to create now. Okay, it is on auto mode, I think. Yep. As A01's leader, as the one who has to carry out the will of my former squad mates, all that's left is to take care of my final duty. And it's actually moving at a slow enough pace I can read it this time. Seems like most of the time when it's on auto mode, it's just going bam, 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 bam. You did good, Cap. I kind of hate it when they don't just like, just put in Nason. It's fine. We're reading a visual novel. Odds are we're all fucking weebs here. We know what Nason means.
みんな私今度はうまくやれたかな。よかった。私やっとあんたに向き合える。やっと自分の気持ちに正直になれる。
Don't worry, Kat. Maybe one day we'll get to your visual novel, which I don't even remember its name. I know, like the Suzumiyas and stuff. They're from oh god, is it fucking Rumbleheart? Rumblehearts? Is that it?
お願い。姉さんを、妹たちを、お願い。私は大丈夫。だってすごく幸せだから。こんな世界だけど、こんなに苦しくて辛い世界だけど、私にとってはまさきが生きているだけで完璧なの。だから怒られるかもしれないけど、まさきより先に行けてよかったって思ってる。
I'm sure this would be more impactful if I knew literally anything about him.
私、さきを見送るなんて絶対耐えられないから。
Back circumstances expert. What does that even mean?
これはね、ずっと覚えていてねっていう最後のわがまま。私のわがままはもう慣れっこでしょ。
Oh. Big old countdown. That's frozen? Why is it frozen? Oh, okay. Just because I didn't animate any more than that.
もう行かなきゃ。
And then Captain Izumi returned to her own planet. I wish I could see the cherry blossoms bloom one last time. That's probably a reference to like some ending CG from her VN. You know, some little gift from the timeline gods. The anime better go real fucking hard with that explosion. I'm so scared it's just gonna be some shitty CG lightning fucking dome. Like, they can go real cool with it, or it could be a real fucking letdown. But, you know, I'm gonna set my bar low. I'm gonna imagine, like, the worst fucking, like, 2004 PS2 game, fucking explosion effect. So that way, if it's hot shit, I'll be like, whoa! Fucking poggers! But it'll never end up in one of those reaction mashups because I probably won't do face cam. Haha. You guys will never see the horrible fucking swamp creature that I really am behind these dull, deep, dulcet tones. Yep, and that's good. Oh god. You guys can listen to the song on your own time because I'm really bad at filling blank air like that. Is it over? Is it done? Did we do it? Is there any after credit scene? Okay, no. Well, whew, we did it. We did it. Finally done that. I did not expect that to be so long, but you know, after I started, I went back and looked at the comments, and I saw someone had mentioned that Confessions was like longer than Sumika's little after story thing in the extra side, which we will be going back to next time as a nice little palate cleanser. So I will do the same thing I did last time and just do like a 1 through 4 random number generator to see which one we'll be reading. So I'd like to thank you all for watching that little final episode of Muv-Luv Alternative Side Stories Confessions, where next time we will be doing a Muv-Luv Extra side story. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.